I have a very exciting video for you today. I'm going to teach you some techniques I learned this year so you can have the most beautiful Christmas tree. We're going to decorate 2 trees in this vintage inspired Christmas room. If you enjoy decorating your own tree, would you give the video a thumbs up? And let's get started.
The style of this room is completely changing over Christmas, so I started out by emptying the room, and then I carried in the pencil Christmas tree. I bought this at Michael's last year, and it's such a nice tree to deal with. I'm going to take a good amount of time and really fluff it. Now we'll move on to the big tree in the room. It's a brand new one. I bought it at Michael's. It's a 7.5 pre-lighted, and it is such a beautiful tree. I am so happy with it. Goes together. It has the lights that as soon as you put the different sections together, the lights turn on. I took plenty of time to fluff the tree, and that is a real big key. Going around it once won't do it, because every time you go around it, you'll see other opportunities, other branches that need to be fluffed up. And then something I did at the end is when I thought it was done, I went through and stuck my arm clear back in all the branches, and I found even more. So when I was finished fluffing, I knew that tree was fluffed. And believe me, you don't want the tree disaster that I had last year that was all caused by my failure to fluff the tree well. So just get some tunes on. Enjoy it. When I was fluffing the tree, I was thinking, how often do I get to do this? Really, only once a year.
Whoa! That's a big tree.
Yeah.
Is that our Christmas tree?
No. The big one is going to go in that room. The one you're remembering, the big one goes in the family room. These special gloves, like this, they help protect your arms when you're fluffing the tree up.
The theme in this room this year is Victorian, but with a Ralph Lauren influence, so the plaid was very important. And I really love this plaid. I learned how to do the ribbon correctly from Jeanna Loves Christmas. I'll show her name later in the video. But I had watched all kinds of videos on doing ribbons, and Jeanna just connected with me. So what you'll do is you'll make either single loops, double loops, or triple loops. I am mostly using single loops because they don't use as much ribbon. So you make the loop, and then you do a twist so that the right side is pointed out, and you'll see this happen over and over in the video. I'm going to show you this a lot so that you will be able to do this if you want. So you make that first loop, and then you're going to wire it, and you wire it in. Notice that I cut it so that there's a tail. So then when you make the succeeding loops, they're going to come way out for the tree. They're going to be poofy, and you want to keep them rounded. Don't let them smash into the tree. But you stick the back of that loop way back in the tree, and you use the limb back there to hold it down. You can go from top to bottom with this method if you want, but the interesting thing about it is when you stop and you decide that's enough, and you cut it off and you have a neat little tail. In the end, it's going to look so cool. But like Jeanna says, let the ribbon take you where you want it to go. Let your heart tell you where it wants to go. This is your tree. This is your ribbon. There is no certain recipe for it. So I kept going around and putting the plaid in different spots on the tree, and now I'm going to add a second ribbon, and it's this beautiful deep blue. So I'll make my initial loop, and you'll see me twist the bottom of the ribbon so that the soft part of the ribbon's out the front. You see the little twist? Then I'll get a piece of wire that I keep handy, and you go around that at least twice, really tight. When you attach it in, you're going to want to attach it inside the joint of another ribbon. So this new kind of ribbon won't be started somewhere else on the tree. They will always end up tying together with the new ribbon going into a joint of one of the existing ribbons. Important topic that needs to be covered. You need to start with some 4-inch wired ribbons in order for this to work out. Most of the ribbon you see is 2.5 inches. That's the most common size. But if you want your tree to really pop and look like this, you just have to start with 4-inch ribbons. That was new information to me. So the blue velvet and the plaid ribbons are 4-inch wide. Now I'm going to introduce some 2.5, and I've got this beautiful brocade. And that is a trick too, is that you want to have multiple styles of ribbon that coordinate. Don't just do one ribbon or even two. It's having different styles and types of coordinating ribbons that just makes your tree top. One of those coordinated ribbons should be a mesh. I picked a kind of champagne-y, pinky gold mesh, and it kind of bounces off the burgundy or the wine color. It is so beautiful, and it just makes the tree sparkle, which is part of the point. And then because it's a mesh, the light shine through it and reflect the light, and I just got so happy when I started putting it on. But you'll use the same method. You'll make the loop, or 2 loops or 3 loops, depending on what you're doing. Make the loop, twist it, wire it, pop it in a joint. You always want to put it in a joint of an existing ribbon, and then start making your loops. They should puff out, they should be rounded, and then you wire it deep in the tree. So, and then just cut off the bottom when you want. And here is the 4th ribbon I have. It's got a little translucency to it, so woven. It's got a little sparkly edge, this burgundy. I'm doing the same thing. I'm making the loop. I'm going to twist the loop, the ends, so that the ribbon will be all facing forward. I'm going to find a joint, and I will put it in that joint. See right here. I'm going to put it in the joint of the brocade, wire it back. And then I can make the loop. I want to make a really nice, good rounded loop. Stick it in the back of the tree. Get a branch to hold it down. When you think of the order of putting things on your tree, you normally think lights first and then other things. Well, I have these little special lights I got at Amazon for a great price. I will link to them in my Amazon store. And it only took 2 sets of the lights to do the whole tree. But I wanted to make sure that the lights were not buried by the ribbon, and that I didn't have to do the things that I didn't want to do with the ribbon because of the lights. So I put those lights on later, and that worked out perfectly. What I need to do is break back, and then you spread it. I'm using 3 of these sprays as the tree topper, and I'll put a brass star on it later. But 3 was just enough to make sure that it is all the way around. While I'm thinking about it, I'm in agreement with the advice to decorate the back of the tree. And I didn't do that for most of my life, but I didn't understand that if I didn't decorate it, it affects the depth. It affects the final view. In this case, I've got a window. So it really drove me to decorate the back of the tree, but it really does make a big difference. Now that I've added all the large sprays to the tree, I'm going to start adding picks. And I just love picks. And I had fun choosing the picks I was going to use for this tree. I wanted to bring in the blue, and I found these lovely blueberry picks. They all come from Hobby Lobby, and I love these kind of silvery champagne. I went back to try to find some more of those, and they were all gone. Maybe they have them where you are. If they do, snag them. They are so lovely. Now I finally start putting the ornaments on the tree, and I'm going to wire them instead of using hooks or ribbons. This allows me to put them right where I want them to be. I don't have to worry about the cat knocking the tree. And I'll tell you, if you have children in your house or pets, wiring your ornaments on the tree is a game changer. So, highly recommend.
It's beautiful. Best tree yet.
Oh, I know. I haven't got all the bulbs on. I'm just starting to put the bulbs on.
Oh, wow.
I told you, Andalin house. Victorian.
That is exactly deep. Those deep colors are just so
I had the vision, and I'm going to do that tree, not the same, but similar.
Blueberries are pretty.
The ribbon just says everything. Can you imagine this tree without the ribbon? This is why that girl I was watching again before I came down. She's the one I learned how to do this ribbon from. And I've watched her videos. So I was up there with my ribbon practicing that technique.
Yeah, plaid really just pops out.
Plaid is everything. The plaid is what is delivering my vision of what I wanted. It's exciting. Have something come out the way it is in your head, you know? I just kept thinking, but I just had to find the right stuff and learn how. I learned how. That's the most important thing. That same girl is the one who talked about wiring the ornaments on the tree rather than with the hangers, because then they will be where you want them to be, not this hanging and you can't get them to go where, where they don't go where you want them to be.
Silent night, I only have one wish for the shooting star. Holy night, send me someone to love so I can hold their hand while we're ice skating around the tree in Central Park. Kiss them under the mistletoe, oh I want a Christmas kind of spark. Santa Claus, do you know Cupid send his arrow?
I have so many tips to show you and so much beautiful decor ahead. I hope you'll subscribe and follow along. I'll see you next time. Bye.